Welcome everyone to Cape TV, a brand new podcasting endeavor where I, Cape Joel, will attempt to take a closer look at all the TV shows from the week and really hope that they do better numbers than my individual reviews did. Yeah. Joining me on this endeavor is Matt, at least for the first episode. You all know Matt from Fortress of Solitude and the Comic Multiverse and many other things. What else do you do, Matt?
I do things like TV reviews, except not really anymore. I do comic reviews, I do videos about Superman, all sorts of stuff.
This is so cute that I'm treating it like I don't know Matt and that the people listening to this don't know Matt and that we're meeting him for the first time.
We have never met before.
I do not know this man. I have never seen this man. These are words I have practiced in the mirror in case I ever have to deal with the police. But yes, that's right. We're going to be looking at TV shows on this one. It's an all TV palooza, and we picked a pretty good week to do this, I would say, because this was we're kind of in the post now for the big CW 4-night invasion event that they were doing.
Yeah, and it was something that a lot of us have been sort of anticipating for quite some time, or since it was announced.
I was anticipating this more than I've been anticipating Justice League, I'll put it that way.
Well, this is, proper Justice League.
It kind of is. That was the big promise of this crossover. It's like, look, when this is all said and done, you will have a TV version of the Justice League. And while I think, the event as a whole, looking at it, kind of had its ups and downs, I figure let's take this episode by episode. That way I can, be sure to put that up into the description so people can find which ones they want to hear in particular. But I guess the week technically started with Supergirl. Now, I don't watch Supergirl. You do, Matt. So tell us about Medusa, which was the title of this episode.
Well, Medusa is a Kryptonian virus that was being made on Krypton before it got destroyed and everything, and now Cadmus wants to use it to destroy all the aliens on the Earth.
Right.
And they go about doing that by doing like little terrorist attacks in that Mos Eisley Cantina bar that they've set up, with Cyborg Superman involved in setting this off and everything. And yeah, it was an alright episode.
Yeah, it's funny, they definitely played this up and were sure to market it as, a 4-night event, you gotta watch all the shows. Even though if you watched Supergirl, you would realize, hey, this is just a normal episode of Supergirl, and the invasion crossover stuff only happens at the very end.
Yeah, in the last, 30 seconds before the credits.
The last 30 seconds, and in fact, I felt kind of ripped off by this Supergirl episode, because they replay that 30 seconds in Flash, which means you had absolutely zero reason to watch Supergirl if you weren't watching it already.
Yeah, my guess is they maybe didn't know how to do it with Supergirl, set it up with her, or with Barry coming over. I wouldn't have minded if Barry came over with Cisco and they had to deal with the Kryptonian virus before going to do the invasion stuff. I thought that was originally what was going to happen, like he'd appear halfway through the episode or something.
That would have been fun.
Nah. Yeah, it would have been cool as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of rough. It's strange that they never bothered with Flashpoint, because I assume that's the way it was going to happen. Flashpoint was going to go down, and when Barry came back to his world, oh, look, Supergirl is now part of this world.
Yeah, I think originally everyone thought that was going to happen. Like, when he went through Flashpoint, yeah, all of a sudden there'd just be Supergirl in this world. But then there comes the question, was like, well, then why isn't Superman around? Why isn't Batman around? Why aren't all these characters that are mentioned and appear in Supergirl in the Flash universe now? And I guess they took that aboard and decided, well, we'll just keep them separate then.
We'll keep them separate. Although really one of the biggest lasting things I think of this crossover event is they've kind of torn down the walls more than ever before. Cisco basically gives her a magic device that says, look, whenever we need you, you can come, and vice versa.
Yeah, but it'll only be for crossovers.
Yeah, I gave you the magic crossover MacGuffin. The crossover officially starts in Flash Invasion, and didn't you like the fact that every episode in this crossover was called Invasion?
Yeah.
Here's the thing I didn't realize. Did you know that Invasion and the Dominators and all this other stuff, they're actually making reference to like a 1989 DC comic event of the same name?
Yeah, Yeah. I knew that what it was based on and everything, but it's really loosely based
Oh
though.
god, yeah. I had to watch a video from our friends over at Comic Pop, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, seriously? This is based on an
Yeah,
event, really?
it's
Wow.
a real event. Yeah, it sort of introduced the Dominators to the at large to the DC universe.
Dominators looked great, didn't they?
Yeah, they look great for what little time they were on screen.
Yeah, that's kind of the funny thing. It's like, yeah, it's this terrible alien threat, but also we'll throw in a human threat in there too, because the Dominators are expensive.
Yeah, and the heroes have to also fight each other more than they fight the Dominators.
Yeah, you could make that argument. Although I will say it is cool. The big selling point of the Flash episode is, hey everybody, look, we're all together, we're all training, and it's interesting too how they take the angle where it's like, we have metahumans that we've gotten used to. Aliens is brand new, so Supergirl is kind of amazing to them.
Yeah, and it kind of like surprised me a little bit. Like they weren't really amazed by her as much as I thought they would be, and I guess it kind of makes sense with all the magic and everything. But they're kind of like, it's just an alien,
Yeah,
just a alien, you know.
well, I mean, she's an alien who looks human, and at least she's on our side, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing that they turn Oliver into Batman
Oh,
basically, and I don't trust this alien.
we'll,
And
we'll get to that. I hated that so much. We'll get to that when we talk about the Arrow installment of this. We're still on the Flash thing. Another missed opportunity I think they had in the Flash crossover of it is that, Heatwave is on the Legends. I'm surprised Flash didn't have a moment of being like, hey, weren't you a criminal? Like, still?
yeah, yeah, he's really not a criminal anymore at all. Like it did surprise me that part where he's like standing with the rest of the crew up on that stage with all like the US forces and everything, talking with them and everything. I'm like, this dude killed people. This dude's, well, then saying that so is Arrow and everything,
Yeah, and Diggle
but
and
like
everything.
this guy like robs and pillages and does all bad shit and everything, and
It,
he's
it's
just on the team of
It's
heroes.
like you would think they would give Mick the celebration, then they'd arrest him and be like, okay, you're also under arrest for standing warrants. Ah, shit. But yeah, I mean, the best stuff for me about this crossover was kind of just having the heroes hang out with each other and kind of bounce off each other. We didn't get so much of that in the Flash thing because they do they do the old, oh no, our minds have been controlled, we've been dominated, and so we have to fight each other now.
Yeah, the old cliche thing. It hasn't like the last two crossovers between Flash and Arrow been that.
They kind of have. I know the first Flash Arrow crossover was that. Then the next one was the Vandal Savage one, right, with the Hawks, which for my money has actually been my
Yeah,
favorite. I think that one was actually the best crossover in my mind.
yeah, that was actually pretty good one.
That was really good, and that was only 2 episodes. And as we'll talk about this four-parter, it was really only 2 episodes too.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I mean, they get dominated, and we get the big fight of like, oh no, now Arrow and Flash need to fight all these other heroes. And all I could think to myself is like, guys, outside Supergirl, the rest of them are just normal people. What's stopping Flash from just beating all of the normal people?
yeah. Well, that's like during the fight they sort of split up where Arrow took like all the people like Diggle and Speedy and everything, while Flash took all the um
Super powered, or at
super
least
powered. Like
enhanced people.
wouldn't like Flash because of how fast he'd just take out all of Arrow's people so that him and Arrow can team up against like Supergirl.
Well, you can't make Ollie look bad. You see, Ollie needs to look strong. We need to put him over at every instance. We need to put him over. It's also kind of funny too, and I know I've said before that Diggle, despite everything I say about him being new and they putting him in the comics and everything, despite Roy Harper. I will admit, he is enjoyable and at least he's forward thinking. It did seem weird though here in this crossover where it's like, no, I've got, super speed, I've got super strength, I've got a flamethrower, I've got guns and a helmet.
Yeah, I shoot people.
Yeah, you know what, Diggle, I love you, but you kind of seem like the sore thumb on this one. Although,
Yeah.
although I will admit, at least during the alien fight, he was smart enough to bring a gun. Where meanwhile, Oliver Queen, it's like, you really just got the arrows, huh?
Yeah, that he runs out of.
You just got the Arrow. Diggle is more forward thinking here, but again, we'll get to the Arrow thing in a minute. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was kind of cool. We got to see Wally actually join the fight and him actually do some Kid Flash stuff. That story got developed pretty well within the bounds of this crossover. I would say, by and large, the Flash episode was the most well written and consistent of the episodes.
Yep, I agree.
It balanced its own shit, and it did the crossover thing. While there was also the stuff with the message that the Legends heard from the far-flung future, and everyone kind of holding Barry's feet to the fire over Flashpoint, which I can't deny that he didn't deserve.
Yeah, goddamn Cisco with that petty shit.
Yo, yeah, he's really angry. Well, it's funny. I think I would enjoy the Cisco stuff more if he wasn't already pissed at him at the beginning of the season, got over it, and now he's pissed at him again.
Yeah, it's just a replay of what's already happened.
It's like, look, if you were going to have him mad, stay mad at him. I'm not saying he shouldn't be mad at him. I think it's good character development for him to, have the generally happy, upstanding Cisco be mad, and, be mad for a good reason, honestly. And, I think by the end of this crossover, they kind of put it to bed, didn't they?
Yeah, they pretty much did.
You're more than a hero, you're my friend, which I'm like, that's cheesy, but I love it, though. It's good shit. Oh, another weird thing for the Flash crossover. So after episodes and episodes in a row of Ray Palmer being like, "Oh, my Atom suit doesn't work. I can't be the Atom anymore." Out of nowhere, he's like, "Yeah, I fixed it."
Yeah, they actually explained. He used the replicator on the Wave Rider to do it. I'm like, then why didn't you do that immediately? Then, it doesn't matter that my suit got destroyed in feudal Japan. I can just make another one.
That's I was literally pulling my hair out on that one. I'm like, really, that's your explanation why you didn't just do it? Yeah, well, there weren't aliens attacking before.
Yeah, and yet he was complaining about it in the last Legends episode.
Yep, he could just do it. Wah wah. So, that was that. Moving on there, we have the Arrow part of the crossover. And, oh boy, I mentioned this on Twitter, and I got a lot of good retweets on this one. I think it was a very poor idea making the 100th episode of Arrow, the big nostalgic circle jerk, also part of this big 4-night crossover.
Yeah, because it got in the way. It got in the way big time.
Boy, howdy, did it get in the way. And God help you if you're like me, who you've never watched Arrow, or if you're one of those people who quit Arrow and come back because you're just sitting down and they're giving you all Ollie all the time up in your face.
Yep.
And just a whole episode full of navel gazing of, oh, wasn't that fun? Wasn't that great when we did that? And I'm just sitting here like, nah, it wasn't.
No, it was depressing.
Give me my fucking aliens, please. It also seemed kind of weird too to juxtapose Arrow in the beginning, which they seemed to suck off super hard, which was this grounded Nolan-esque love fest, and juxtapose that with all the aliens and time travel and everything that's happening now. And it's like, yeah, Jesus Christ, you guys sure have come a long way, haven't you, after swearing up and down that you would never ever do it.
Yeah, never ever do it. First it was like, we're never going to do magic, and then they do 2 seasons of it. Mm-hmm. And then we're never going to do sci-fi aliens, and then they go ahead and do this and have crossovers with Flash and everything, and yeah, they can't make up their minds.
Geez, Arrow, it seems like your legacy is a giant legacy of compromise, isn't it? And they do like that whole Twilight Zone type thing where it's like, oh well, what would Ollie's life have been if he never got on that boat? And my whole time watching the episode, and I'm sure you would agree, Matt, all I could think was the far superior Batman the Animated Series episode, Perchance to Dream.
Oh yeah, definitely, and also the whole premise and everything is just for the man who has everything, the Superman story, what they did with Supergirl with the Black Mercy and everything. It's exactly the same.
Felt really derivative, didn't it? It's like you couldn't take this in any new direction, huh? There's no way you could spin this, huh? And it's also kind of weird too, where it's like, the aliens were sure to kidnap everyone who is either an Arrow character or is related to Arrow. But we also kidnapped Mick, so he doesn't get to share in this delusion. He just kind of hangs out and doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he's just there in the background, being all gruff.
He's not important enough to have a shared delusion. And then even when they brought up you gotta face your fears as personified from villains from the show. Oh, we got Deathstroke and Damien Dark and Malcolm Merlyn. And also these fucking jobber henchmen. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, these random armed henchmen for Ray to fight.
It's like, really, your show's been on for like what, 5 seasons now? You've been around longer than anyone else, and these are the only villains you had, huh? These are the only villains you could bring.
I know it's almost like they reuse villains.
Well, shit. And I mean, while that was going on, we got Supergirl and Flash teaming up with the new Arrow Scooby Squad of absolute loser villain or
Oh God.
loser heroes. Who are most of those people? There was Wild Dog, obviously, who's like, I'm racist against superpowered folks because reasons.
Yeah, there's Mr. Terrific.
Oh yes, 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 Mr. Terrific. Who Cisco even says, "Wow, you're like a lame version of me."
Yeah, and it's true. I don't Mr. Terrific in this is terrible.
They really cut that character's nuts off, where it's like, oh hey, so your tech guy makes movie references too, huh? Jeez, it's like a lame version of me. I'm amazed they put that joke in there because it's too accurate. And then
Who else is there? There's
the Tattered Man, is that who that was supposed to be?
Ragman.
Oh,
Ragman.
Ragman.
Yeah.
Did they do anything?
I don't know why he's on Arrow. Like he again, he's magic and everything, and he's on Arrow, and they've said they don't want to do magic anymore. Yet here he is, member of every episode.
Like if I know my magical DC universe, and I like to think I do, should Ragman not technically be more powerful than anyone on that show?
Oh yeah. Like he should be absolutely OP, but he's not.
And yet he's Arrow's intern.
And you know what else they did? They tied him in with Felicity as well.
God damn it! Really, all roads come back to Felicity, don't they?
They do.
Like that's another thing too. Why I will actually give credit to the 2-part Vandal Savage crossover. Felicity was at least bearable in that crossover. In here, it's just like, yeah, but how can we put Felicity in more things though?
Yeah, and like what quips can she say?
Quippity quippity, just like, yeah, it's like you are no Cisco, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And also she's the one character who's able to get in contact with the legends, even though she doesn't know where the legends are going to be or when they're going to be.
She's just that smart, though. Here's a question too about Wild Dog, whatever. Did they ever give a reason in Arrow? Because obviously, I'm sure you're more up to date on Arrow than I am. Why he hates metahumans, or did they just invent that for this episode?
I think they just invented that for this episode because the recent Arrow episodes he's been dealing with another masked guy with guns.
Oh yeah,
which doesn't make any sense because like this vigilante guy whose name is Vigilante.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, he showed up here for a second. Vigilante. There's been like several vigilantes in DC Comics.
Yeah, he's using guns, and Arrow's not too happy about that. Yet Wild Dog does as well, and he has no qualms about putting him on the team and making him pretty much a team leader.
Jeez, it's like the writing on that show is super inconsistent or something. So yeah, the Arrow part of the crossover was barely a crossover at all.
Yeah, except for that last little bit at the end where they get rescued by the Legends.
Yeah, I almost feel like saying you could skip the Arrow part. You could definitely skip the Supergirl part. And that brings us to the big finale, which was the Legends of Tomorrow bit of the crossover. Hey, we finally got to see Citizen Steel in his costume.
Yeah, we got to see him in the costume, but there was a trade-off. We saw him in the costume, and he steeled out probably once.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I will give it credit, though. It's comic accurate, so that makes me happy.
It's a cool costume. It's one of the cooler costumes of the DC TV universe.
It really is, because it's got a lot of colors, it's got a lot of stuff going on. I dig it.
Yeah.
It's funny, too, this episode was like, okay, so we need to interrogate a Dominator to help find out what their plan is and everything. So, we'll go back in time and kidnap one. And all I could think is like, well, if you could go back in time to whenever you want, how about you, like, go back to the beginning of the Dominator's, like, planet and, destroy them then?
Yeah, or contact them first and say you come in peace.
Exactly. I mean, you have a time machine, so there's no shortage of things you could do. It seems to me like you guys are using this time machine really lazily, is all I'm saying.
The whole show, all the time, every week I keep saying, why didn't they just use the time machine to do this or that? You have a fucking time machine. You can do anything.
It's true. This was also the part of the crossover where we got our human villains, our evil, shadowy government organization.
Yeah, the generic man in a suit with glasses.
The Men in Black. You know what I was really hoping for, and you know what I actually had my fingers crossed for? I'm like, ooh, please say this guy in glasses is Maxwell Lord. Please say he's Maxwell
Oh,
Lord.
that'd have been pretty good.
That would have been a great twist. I don't know why they didn't do that. You don't have to do anything with Maxwell Lord. Just say the old guy is Maxwell Lord, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we got to see them do that. Another dumb thing about this episode, and this is just classic Legends writing here, like to the point where it's almost getting hilarious. I don't want people to get the impression that I didn't like it because I thought it was actually really funny. They're like, "Oh no, they hit us with darts. We can't activate our powers anymore." Hey Vixen, your magic, your powers aren't tied to your body. It doesn't matter if they give you drugs. You can use your magic amulet. They didn't drug your amulet. Why aren't you using your magic powers?
Also, like, so Steel's powers, like he needs them to live basically because he's,
Hemophiliac.
yeah, hemophiliac. So like, wouldn't taking them away like cause him to die?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things here. They're just like, don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, and also the big climactic battle was on the roof of a building in downtown Vancouver.
Oh, of course it was. I mean, where else would it be? As a Canadian, I know full well that's where the final battle of the universe will be held.
And it could have all just been finished by just having Supergirl and Flash go really fast
It's true.
and run everything, run those little dart thingies that they had to put on all the Dominators onto all of them. But didn't need to have to do that.
Oh, but Matt, we have a good reason why Supergirl just didn't use her Supergirl powers to fix everything, and that's because Arrow made her feel bad for some stupid fucking reason.
Because Batman does that.
I was
You know.
I was pulling my goddamn hair out over that. Okay, so the Earth is threatened. We're all gonna die. You know, the Dominators want to hurt us, but no, Supergirl, you can't join us because you're an alien, and I just, if things I trust, and I don't know you, so you should stay here and not make me look bad.
Yeah, yeah. Don't outshine me.
Don't make me
Can't outshine me.
This is fucking Arrow and Friends, in case you didn't realize. So you better fucking stay put, lady. Make me a sandwich. That was basically what he said.
Yeah, yeah. To which Supergirl should have gone, no, fuck you.
Exactly.
I am better than you, and I am going to help here.
That was the worst part of it, that she's like, no, you're right, Oliver, I guess I should stay here. No, you should slap him upside the head and be like, I am a goddamn demigod, you fire pointy sticks, you will do what I tell you to do.
Yeah, and, she's on a different Earth, so literally nothing can hurt her.
Yeah, I am unto a god. I will say, though, to the crossover's credit, I will admit the last couple crossovers had a problem of bending over backwards to fillet Arrow in the Arrow TV show. At least here, they did kind of give the other heroes, at least Flash and Supergirl, their due by saying, yes, Supergirl is the most powerful, and Flash ends up being the most important because it's what he did in Flashpoint that got the Dominators mad at them in the first place, and he's the one who gets, like, the big heroic sacrifice moment at the end.
Well, I'm sure, like, if they could give Oliver speed powers, they would have made it all about him.
I'm sure they would have, too. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was at least a little bit more even this time around. I think they're beginning to realize, hey, you know what? Maybe Flash pays our bills better than Arrow pays our bills.
Yeah, well, I think they've seen the ratings and everything and kind of realized that.
Maybe we should give him more to do. So yeah, like you said, we had the big fight on the roof in Vancouver, and that was all fine and well. And you had Firestorm remembering, oh geez, I can transmute stuff.
Yeah, that one time he's managed to do it since, I think, that time where he transmuted that nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
In season 1.
Firestorm has this amazing ability that they just straight up forget he has.
Well, that's when that's even if they remember that Firestorm is actually a character.
Oh, I know.
And decide to actually bring together both Stein and Jax,
and not keep,
because half the time they're apart.
That's amazing. Like, seriously, if I existed in this universe and I was a part of Firestorm, I'd be like, I will never leave your side, old dude. Whatever you're doing, I'm doing. Because we're kind of useless apart.
Yeah, and they've shown that they work better together because of the link they have.
Speaking of Stein, he actually got quite he got probably the biggest B story in the whole Invasion crossover, and that is Flashpoint means he has a daughter now.
Yeah, that he's kind of happy but not happy about.
Yeah, they kind of did an interesting job with his whole confliction that he was feeling. Whereas, like, on one hand, I'm a legend and I'm supposed to take care of time aberrations, but this is my own time aberration, and I kind of love my daughter, and, am I basically going to time travel abort her or not?
Yeah.
And in the end, he decides no, and that's fine, because she
Yeah.
seems fun.
I did like how it was pretty hypocritical of the legends to like get up Barry's ass for changing the time stream when they do it every fucking week.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, of course. And like, wasn't there a bit too where like White Canary says, "Oh, I know that anger, that wanting to kill. That's why I don't do it." It's like, oh, you do it all the time.
There was literally like 3 episodes of this new season where like the team had to like lock her up because she kept going off book to go try and kill Damien Dark.
Yep, and destroy history. I basically have just taken it as gospel now that the legends are horrible hypocrites, so it's fine. That's just part of their characters being awful hypocrites. But at least it's funny. Now, I will say, as we kind of wind down the talk of this 4-night special, my favorite moment by far, it was totally cheesy, but I loved it to death, is when the president, kind of rewards them and is like, "Thank you, legends, for being cool dudes and saving Earth. We appreciate it."
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And also the president now, since the old president died, is now a woman.
Yes. Did you
Like it is on Supergirl's world now as well.
did you catch the funny thing too? Because this is the first time we ever saw the CW universe president, and he was kind of like a douchey old man. He's like, "Nah, I don't like that. Nah, nukes." Then he gets killed and replaced by a woman, and I'm like, "Oh, is that the CW writers getting a little political there, getting a little Trump Hillary?" I wonder. I thought that was kind of funny that they killed douchebag president and replace him with cool lady president who's fine with all the heroes. Oh,
Um,
yes.
I was going to say like my favorite part was probably the line from Ray Palmer where he says that Kara kind of looks like his cousin.
Oh, that was fucking genius. That was great. She kind of looks like my cousin. I'm like, that's right, because you were Superman once. I had to think about that for a second. That was good. That was tight. Heck, I even like Ollie and Barry going to the bar at the end and having a drink, because that's the scene you want from Batman and Superman in the movies, but you'll never get. And that's like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, what would we do when we're not working? What would we do when we're not on the job? Well, we'd have fun. We'd live like normal people is what we would do.
Yeah, we do normal people things.
It's like that ending was so strong, that last 5 minutes where you get to see them hanging out and chilling and having fun and, doing the fan service thing. That last 5 minutes was so good and so strong, I'm willing to forgive the fact that at least 2 of these 4 episodes were totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
I guess if I was to rank the crossovers on the CW, the Vandal Savage one would be number 1. The original Flash Arrow crossover would be number 2. Or no. I would say this would be above that one, and then the original Flash Arrow crossover would be under that. So this is at least nestled in the second spot. It's the second best crossover they've done.
Yeah, but only just.
Only just. A lot of it was enjoying the spectacle of getting to see all these heroes together, even though I think they needed more breathing time.
Yep.
That's why I like the Vandal Savage crossover, because that whole second episode, they just go to a farmhouse and just hang out.
Yeah. I completely forgot about this. That one thing I didn't like that they did, and they tried to convince us of it, they tried to convince us that the Hall of Justice was some random airport hangar.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Sometimes it looks like an airport hangar, and sometimes it looks like the Hall of Justice. What was up with that? I didn't
Yeah,
understand.
well, there was like this one shot where it's like a composite CGI shot of the Hall of Justice, and then it just cuts straight to like a scene in front of like this airport hangar that is obviously on an airport somewhere in Vancouver, and like you're not trying to say that's the same fucking building because it looks completely different.
It's like, was there like a cloaking device on it? Is that what we were supposed to think? They never quite explain why it's like that.
Yeah, and we'll probably never see that building ever again.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I nerded the fuck out when I saw the Hall of Justice. I just wish they had more of an explanation.
Yeah.
And Barry's like, "Oh, I own the building and everything." Like, okay, was what?
Yeah, like how? What?
Just don't think about it. We got plenty of shit to do. We got a lot of aliens to fight. Don't think about it, Matt. So that was the 4-night invasion crossover. Overall, decent enough, pretty good. Again, it's a
Yeah.
4-night crossover, but it was really only Flash and Legends you needed to watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
The other ones you could pretty much ignore. And
Especially Supergirl.
yeah, really, that one doesn't even cross over at all. And in fact, you don't need to watch it because they put that scene in the Flash. I hope if they do this again, and who are we kidding? They're gonna do this again.
Yep.
In fact, they have extra good reason to do it again. Apparently, the ratings for all these shows as part of these crossovers was through the roof.
Yeah, I just hope like next time they do it, they do like a bigger storyline that involves some more characters. Like get Superman involved, get
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter involved, and all them.
Oh yeah, I mean, are you afraid of money? Let Superman meet Flash.
Yeah. Oh God.
Dude,
Oh.
market the shit out of that, being like, yeah, everyone, and tonight Superman is going to meet the Flash.
Oh.
I
That'd
mean,
be amazing.
get him involved, and by the time they do this again, Killer Frost will probably be heroic Killer Frost, and Vibe will probably have a costume and everything.
Yep.
Kid Flash will probably have a costume by then. We might have Jesse Quick again. Just merge all the families. Just do it.
Yeah. Just do it. Just make some money.
Hey, you know what you do? Here's the thing: you won't even need to have new CGI. You can actually recycle the Dominator CGI. Do the classic escalation thing when dealing with aliens, where it's like, okay, so this time the aliens came to Earth. For the next one, like next year, have Return to the Planet of the Dominators, and that is the heroes need to go to the Dominators' planet for some reason.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. You get to see them at home, have them fight the Dominator Queen or something.
Yeah, that'd be really awesome.
Have everyone together, just have it be a total spacefaring mission. Yeah, do that. That's my pitch for that one. Everyone,
Yeah, come on, DC. We talked about the Dominators,
And it
and
happened.
it happened. So make this happen.
make it happen. I will say, when everyone does get together and they all stand in that straight line and they do that hero shot, pretty good. So good, in fact, that's the thumbnail I'm using for this episode. Now, while definitely DC had the majority and had the bulk of screen time this week, they weren't the only shows that came out this week. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. returned this week as well, but the episode deals with our devils.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool episode, especially after last 3 week ago, or however long it was on break for the little twist at the end of that, the cliffhanger.
It was a clever idea. I'm a big fan of like Rashomon style episodes that show you the same things but from different angles. Basically, Fitz, Robbie, and Coulson have more or less been blasted into the ghost dimension, and so no one can see or hear them, but they keep trying to interact with everybody.
Yeah, it was a great episode, and it was one of those episodes that allow characters to find out other things about characters, like how Fitz finds out stuff about Simmons and that and Mace and everything and everything. I always like episodes like that.
Wonderfully cost effective too, because how do they do the ghost effect? Just dim the lights a little bit.
Yeah, just throw up the orange tint.
Put a sepia tone over everything. It's real good. And I mean, also, how can we not forget to mention this? I love that with Robbie trapped in the ghost dimension and dying slowly, the spirit of vengeance is just like, fuck this noise, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and it goes and inhabits Mac.
Who is really damn cool as Ghost Rider, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he drives around on the motorbike. He's got the shotgun axe.
So freaking cool. And this is the brilliant thing about Ghost Rider too. It doesn't matter who the spirit of vengeance is in, because once their head becomes all fiery and everything, they're just Ghost Rider.
Yeah, if like you probably showed someone just Mac as Ghost Rider, like with the flaming head, they probably just think it's just Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider or something.
Mm-hmm. He looked more...
Can't tell a difference.
No, you can. He looked quite classic in that look. I wonder as well, with having Mac be Ghost Rider, I wonder, is that them kind of like, testing the waters, being like, hey, would people respond to Mac maybe making the jump to the main comics? Because I know like a bunch of the other agents made the jump to the comics.
I wouldn't mind that. I like Mac as a character. I like how he's evolved from just being like some mechanic guy who was in a couple of episodes to being like an actual agent team member.
Oh, yeah.
with a unique character and like a unique weapon and everything.
Oh, yeah. That like that weapon, I think, will make him immortal. Like that's all you need. You just need a shield agent to show up in the comics who has a shotgun axe, and that's all you need.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that was pretty good. This was a fun episode. Shield is definitely going places this episode, and by places I mean hell. They literally seem to have gone to hell at the end of this episode.
I know. Oh, I can't wait to see what next episode is going to be about.
Hey guys,
So the next episode is the winter finale, isn't it?
yes, I think it is.
Oh, awesome.
Hell is real in the Marvel universe. Everyone, just gonna throw that out there. Hell is totally real.
Also, this episode featured a really cool tie-in to Doctor Strange, and that was when they created that portal thing that looked exactly like the sling ring from Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, and she was
that
doing
portal
like
thing.
magical hand signs too, wasn't she?
Yeah, like connecting the things and everything.
Oh wow, I didn't catch that until you mentioned that, Matt. But yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, it was really cool, nice little reference.
Oh yeah, so all in all, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., cool episode. I wonder if Dormammu will show up at the end of this, or like Mephisto even. Like imagine that if Mephisto showed up at the end of all of this.
That'd be pretty cool. Well, the thing is, they did this sort of bait and switch on us when we thought that the Good Samaritan was Mephisto, but it was actually Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
They definitely might be saving him for the last couple of episodes.
That'd be cool. That'd be freaking cool, man. And I guess the last new show that came out this week, and something that I'm sure Matt and I, were really, really excited about, new Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah. Now, are we talking about which episode? Because as we record this, there's an episode that comes out, like, as we're talking about it now.
I'm talking like the newest one, the one where they go back to Lothal.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Is that the one with the big Death Trooper thingies?
I don't know if it's the Death Troopers, but it's the one where they have to infiltrate the factory.
I think that's the most recent one, and I haven't had time to watch that one.
Ah, damn it! There's some really good shit that happens in this episode. There's a turn with a character actually that's really good.
Cool. I don't care if you spoil it for me.
Okay, so you know how they've been dealing with a new Fulcrum recently?
Yep.
We find out who the new Fulcrum is.
Oh, cool. Is it Sato?
No, actually.
Ooh. I'm trying to think who it could be. It's not Hondo, is it?
No, it's not Hondo. That would be funny. It's someone whose character we've actually seen grow quite a bit over the last few seasons. And they do a big full turn, actually, and it's really well done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, now
I really want to watch this episode.
See, you see, when you see it, I bet you're going to slap your forehead and go, yeah, of course it would be them, but it's really good.
It's Chopper!
This episode was violent, too. Thrawn kills a motherfucker in a very creative way this episode.
I actually saw the clip of that earlier this week, and holy crap, they get him perfectly.
Jeez.
Like, Thrawn is exactly how he was in the old expanded universe.
Talk about literally getting away with murder on what is supposed to be a Disney XD kids show, too. Like, he offs a dude in a super violent way, and it's just like, wow, they actually did that.
Yeah, the show gets pretty dark sometimes.
It does. Oh, Clancy Brown comes back, too, as that politician who was in the concentration camps with Ezra's parents. I thought that was a nice touch.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's back. It's funny, Ezra's parents, do you think we're ever going to see them again? Because they haven't quite come out and said they're dead. They kind of left that a little open.
I think we will. I think they maybe left that just so they could tell maybe a story about them a little later on down the line.
Because my thing is that they modeled them, is the thing. Like, they actually drew good character models for them, which makes me think, they wouldn't spend money on doing that if we weren't going to see them again.
Yeah, I think we probably will see them again, so they're tied in with something.
Mm-hmm. I guess one last quick thing before we end this. Justice League Action. Some episodes leaked out.
Yeah, I maybe have hypothetically seen them.
I maybe have hypothetically seen these episodes too, and if I did hypothetically see these episodes, I would say that I would be hypothetically pleasantly surprised with them, actually.
Yeah, we were kind of on the fence about this, and we were hypothetically saying that maybe they'll be bad, maybe they'll be good, but maybe hypothetically they'll good.
Again, without giving away any particulars, which I couldn't do because I haven't seen them, or maybe I have. I mean, you'll never know. I will say, this does look to be a lot cheaper. It's definitely in line with a lot of the stuff that Cartoon Network is putting out right now. But the writing is there, the voice acting is there, and the comedy is there too.
Yeah, yeah. Looks to be pretty cool.
It's not a Teen Titans thing where if I hypothetically
No.
saw it, I would feel like I was getting dumber by watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this feels like, I mean, hypothetically, it feels like it was actually written by adults.
But someone who can actually write.
Yeah, yeah.
Has writing skills.
Yeah, it doesn't talk down and it doesn't write down to its audience, which I thought was a nice touch. And man, a show like this, I'm sure for anyone who's even seen the trailers, you can see they draw some really interesting characters from the greater DC pantheon. Like, there's some people, hypothetically, who's in there where you'll be like, oh, really, them?
Yeah, like Space Cabbie and the Atomic Family.
Space Cabbie, voiced by Patton Oswalt, who does amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I never thought I wanted a Space Cabbie show until I heard Patton Oswalt speak as him. Then I'm like, okay, I want one now. Also, Lobo sounds like Macho Man, which is
Lobo sounds cool. Lobo
sounds
sounds cool.
a lot of this is really good. What do you think of the Superman costume?
I like it. The only thing is I don't like how they've done the S, how like the top part of the S sort of connects down to the bottom part.
It looks like he drew
Looks
it
really
on
weird.
himself, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really weird.
That's weird. Wonder Woman looks like she's 12, which is a little weird.
Yeah, the haircut looks weird.
The haircut she needs a grown woman haircut is what she needs. Batman, not much Batman actually, which maybe is kind of a good thing in an age of Batman.
Which is just
overload.
surprising. I'm surprised like these episodes weren't, all Batman centric. Like he's the one who comes in to save the day or something.
He kind of hangs back and even gets some good laughs in.
Yeah, he's actually quite funny.
He's very funny. He's very dry. Batman is the ultimate straight man of Justice League action.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that's Cape TV podcast, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I know when I wrote out on Twitter that I'm doing another podcast, people were actually kind of worried about me, Matt. They're like, "Oh my God, Joel, is that a podcast every week you do now?" Almost. My Mondays are free and every other Wednesday is free, but almost. And the only reason I threw this together was because my own TV show single reviews were doing really limp and not as good, and I took it to you fans, I took it to the patrons, and I asked them, hey, would you prefer a podcast? And most people said yes, so I'm giving this a try. I'm going to try, keep these nice and short for the future reference, maybe like only 30 in that area. I'll try and not ever go over an hour, although, man, did I really fuck up choosing to do this now, because it seems like all these shows are going to go on winter break, aren't they, Matt?
Yeah, starting this next coming week, everything sort of ends.
Wah, wah. Joel picked a good time for that, didn't he? So, yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this, everyone. I hope you like this new format. If so, I'll try and keep this a thing. Thank you, Matt, for joining me on this one. Matt, of course, has lots of other things. He's a busy, busy man, and because, he's a constant professional over on the comic multiverse, I'm going to try and sub in some other people on this, maybe talk about some shows that I don't watch all the time, try and, get some good experts on there. Maybe I'll try and schedule this one a little better, because we're recording this at normal comic multiverse time, so maybe I'll try and fix that around. But, yeah, definitely thank you, Matt, for that. As always, if you're listening down here, I'm going to put this on Podbean. I'm going to put this up for the patrons. Be sure to like, subscribe, favorite, and also comment, because apparently commenting is important now, Matt. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You can now like post top comments and sticky them and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's weird.
YouTube changed their fucking algorithm again, so everything that used to work doesn't work anymore, and now there's new shit.
Yep. So expect like every channel to make a video about how to be successful on YouTube.
Oh, of course. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
In the comment section down below, tell us what was your favorite show of the week and what are you looking forward to before the whole winter break thing.
Yep.
Until next time, everyone, this has been Joel.
And Matt.
And we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.